50% of all government to business contracts are corrupt. Transparency International numbers. 50% of all of the amounts in those contracts in the world are corrupt. Which means that every $1,000 that is spent by the government, by any government in the world, with a contract with businesses, 500 of those dollars are corrupt. Either kickbacks or some sort of other subsidies, etc. 50%. Can you imagine what kind of number we're talking about? Imagine all of the government contracts in the world. Now imagine 50% of that dollar amount is corrupt. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's not only a lot, it's a problem that needs to be solved. So, corruption in itself, first of all, why does it exist everywhere? Because it is everywhere in the world. There is no country on earth that has no corruption. It doesn't exist. There's multiple reasons for it. The first reason is, number one, the government solution, all of the government solution to corruption is very simple. Take the people that are corrupt, put them in prison. Great. That's necessary, but it's not enough. There's a very good reason why it's not enough. Because the business is lucrative. Let's think about drug trafficking. Think about all of the drug dealers in the world. All of the drug traffickers in the world. If a drug trafficker is caught, they will be sent to prison everywhere in the world. Does that stop drugs? No, it doesn't. Because the risk of prison versus the reward of billions and trillions of dollars simply doesn't pan out. Taking people to prison for corruption is not enough. We need to do more. We need to do much more. So, let's do a little exercise. If you look at this picture here, it's a picture of success. How do you think about people that are successful? Imagine the icon of success for you. Well, for a lot of people in the world, it looks something like this. That's what success looks like. We think of people that have money as successful. That's normal. It's a normal, natural process. But what we don't take into account is how that money is made. How is that person making that much money? How have they become successful? How much of that success has to do with the fact that 50% of all B2G contracts in the world are corrupt? That's the key. The key to corruption is not just the fact that we take people to prison. It's the fact that we have to start thinking about people that are successful in a different way. We have to hold them accountable. How did you make that money? That money that you made, is it corrupt? There's a very easy way to do that. Understandably, you go to a village in any country in the world, they're driving around their car, policeman stops them, they have to give a $100 ticket, or they give the $10 bribe. Well, they're going to give the $10 bribe. The person giving the bribe is just as accountable as the person taking the bribe. Every single person in this room that has ever given any amount of money to any police officer is corrupt. That's the reality, because you are corrupt as much as the person taking the money. And there's a reason for this. It's very simple. This is an actual car accident. A 22-year-old soldier died in this car accident. Do you know why? The reason why he died is because of corruption. That is the true price of corruption. The person that gave the driver's license took the money, gave the driver's license. The police officer that stopped someone drunk and took the money. The person who gave the money when they were drunk. The contract that was given for the asphalt underneath that was 50% corrupt is less asphalt, it's narrower, it's thinner, it has potholes, it has issues. All of these are factors into this person's death. This is the price of corruption. The price of corruption is people are dying. Every time you give money to anybody as a bribe, you are killing someone. That is the reality of corruption. So, if we start thinking about people who are corrupt, not as successful businessmen, it's part of business. If I don't give the kickback, I won't get the contract. Well, but if you do give the kickback, you're killing someone. That should be the price of corruption. We should tell these people that if you ever give a bribe for any governmental contract anywhere in the world, you are a murderer. We should act and react to those people as murderers. If you get a murderer in your group of friends, somebody comes up and wants to be your friend and says, hey, I'm a murderer, automatically they're outcast from society. They're outcast from your friends, they're outcast from your group, and they're outcast from society. But if the same person comes and says, I gave a bribe on a business-to-government contract so I can get the contract versus somebody else, and if I don't, they will, so what's the difference? You should have the same reaction as you would to the person that says, I'm a murderer. Because that is the reality. The person who takes that money, the person who gives that money, ultimately ends up killing a 22-year-old soldier on the street. So, how can we start thinking about corruption, the ultimate price of corruption, as murder? Education, mindset, change of values. We have to start thinking about how we assess what is success. If we start doing that, very clearly they will change. The people who are corrupt are not going to change because of the risk of going to prison. Very simple. Again, the drug industry as an example. Going to prison is not enough because the business is so lucrative. If I give you $1 billion and I say the risk is you might go to prison for 10 years, you're probably going to take it. A lot of people will. That's normal. So that shouldn't be the ultimate price. The price shouldn't only be we're going to take you to prison. The price should be you're going to be a murderer. And as a murderer, you will never be a part of our society. If we can change that value system, they will change. Because human beings and successful people want to be part of society. They want to be aspirational to the masses. Good example, smoking. How can we get people to stop smoking? It's a very good question. Well, how do you get people to stop smoking, again, is not just enforcing more and more fines and enforcing more and more laws and regulation. We should do that, but that's not enough. A good example of this is the United States. In the United States, if you stand on the street and you smoke, every single person that will walk by will look at you like you're an idiot. They will look at you like you're an idiot. It's not only the faces you'll see, they'll actually act and react to you like you're an idiot. If you're sitting with a group of friends in the US, you say, oh, I'm going to pop out for a cigarette, every single person, they will disown you. They will disown you. You will no longer be the friend that you were. You will be a less of a person. You will be subhuman. And it's done by society. We are the ones that built it that way. That's why it works. That's why it works. We have to do the same for people who give bribes and take bribes. If you give a bribe and you take a bribe, and we act and react to you like a murderer, on top of that, the governments will take you to prison, of course. Problems start being solved. It all starts with you. That's the key. You have to get yourself accountable. Number one, you have to not ever give a bribe. Ever. If you made a mistake, take the $100 ticket, pay the $100 ticket, and you'll never make that mistake again. Trust me when I say, if you pay that bribe, you will be paying it over and over again. And you'll actually pay more than the original $100 on the long run. But more importantly, every time you pay that bribe anywhere in the world, for any reason, you're saying it's okay. And as soon as you say it's okay, the end result of that it's okay is that people die. If it's okay to take 100, is it okay to take 1 million? If it's okay to take 1 million, is it okay to take 10 million? If you take 10 million, that's a business to government contract. That means the asphalt that you were supposed to put is not the best quality. That means the bridge that you were supposed to build is not the best quality. And all of those result in 22-year-old soldiers dying. It all starts with you. Don't look to your right. Don't look to your left. It's you. Stop giving bribes. Thank you.